of singing this morning. This is Hold On. Everything is going to be all right. It's a song rooted in the African American spiritual tradition, and it's a song of faith rather than certainty, because we really don't know if everything is going to be all right. In fact, it's almost certainly the case. Hardly ever is everything all right. That just doesn't happen in our world. But if we are able to hold on, then things might be all right enough. It's a song about making a way out of no way. It's a song about holding on and singing out again and again so that others might hold on and sing out with us, so that it might just make things all right enough to go on.
Let's start out moving the melody and see if we kind of get that in our heads. At least join in with the words as we get into them.
Good morning. Welcome to the UU Church of the South Hills, also known as Sunnyhill. We are delighted that you could join us for this service. Our mission at Sunnyhill is to create a more just and compassionate community within and beyond our walls. My name is Roxy Mountjoy, and I serve as a worship associate for this congregation. If you are a newcomer or a visitor to our congregation, please go to sunnyhill.org and click on the button that says New to Sunnyhill to receive more information about our congregation and to receive our weekly email newsletter. If you're joining us online today, please say hello or good morning in the comments on Facebook or YouTube. We'd like to hear from you and extend you a welcome as well. We welcome children of all ages to our service. For quiet play, we have a children's area here in the sanctuary. For louder activities, we have a nursery just outside the corner entrance to the sanctuary. We have a comfort room accessible through the back hallway from which you can hear and see the service. A gentle reminder to everyone, please silence your cell phones or other electronic devices so that we may all enjoy the service uninterrupted by buzzing or ringing. Our Share the Plate organization for the month of February is the Pennsylvania Interfaith Impact Network, or PIN. Sunnyhill member and PIN board member Julie Ann Sullivan is here with Sandra Woolley to tell us more about the work of PIN.
Good morning. My name is Julie Ann Sullivan. I am honored to be newly elected to the executive board of the Pennsylvania Impact Interfaith, there we go, Impact Network. And it is my pleasure to introduce you to Sandra Woolley. She is also on the executive board, and she has been a part of PIN for 15 years.
Good morning. I'm delighted to find out where Sunnyhill is and to be in your beautiful worship space. I live in Squirrel Hill, and I'm a member of First UU, and I have been involved with PIN for a long time. As the name suggests, PIN is a group of congregations of all faiths working together for justice in the Pittsburgh region. Amazingly, PIN is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year. Like most nonprofits, we've had, our high points and our low points, and then COVID hit, which impacted many organizations. But I'm pleased to tell you that PIN in the last 2 or 3 years is expanding both in size and its power in the community. I want to personally invite you to PIN's fundraising gala, which is 2 weeks from this Sunday, 5 to 8, in the Mennonite Church in Swissvale. Between the services, Julianne and I were out in the fellowship lobby, and we talked to some of you. But if you would like to buy tickets, see Julianne. And there's a poster out on the table where there's a QR code that you can both register and buy tickets. That's also on PIN's website, which is PIINPA.org. 2 I's, PIINPA.org. And, you can scan the QR code, and there's also a website address. If you need help, ask Julianne or Claire Pullen, because both of them are helping PIN improve our communications. The theme of the banquet is Champions for Justice, which reflects PIN's work for the last 25 years in the Pittsburgh region. And the program will highlight our current work, but also some of our past work. I'm just going to tell you briefly about 3 initiatives. The first is in the environmental justice area, and I think Sue McCarthy is leading you in some of that work here. So they have worked speaking at the Allegheny County Council meetings, advocating for an increase in the permit fees for industrial facilities that are emitting a lot of pollutants. That's an ongoing battle. They've been distributing air filters in the Mon Valley, and most recently advocating for Aldi's, which is apparently expanding in this area, to open a store in the Clareton area, where currently there is no grocery store, and they call that a food desert. Second major effort is in the area of criminal justice, and the first part of that is working with the Allegheny County Jail There's an oversight board called the JOB, and this work was really prompted by a lot of deaths in the jail, and many of the people in the jail haven't even been convicted. They can't pay bail, and they're waiting for their day in court, which sometimes takes months. So they've basically been, with PIN, with other organizations, have been pressuring the jail oversight board to do their job. And there is some progress being made. Some of the board members that were doing nothing have been replaced. There's a new warden, you may have seen that in the news, that has just been hired. And they've encouraged the medical director to retire early. And the number of deaths in the jail have been greatly reduced. The second program, which I think is wonderful, is there's a program for people who are returning from jail. They may have returned last month or maybe 20 years ago, but it's a 12-week course where they're helped to develop the skills that they need to re-enter into society. And it's wonderful. There's a graduation that any of you could go to, and they have caps and gowns and the whole works. Also there's a monthly meeting that is open to the public. And at those meetings, they're trying to involve some of the graduates in solving the problems of the criminal justice system. So the last program that I would mention is called Integrative Voter Engagement. And I didn't choose that name, but it means continuously canvassing in neighborhoods to find community leaders, to find out what issues are important to them, and to teach them how to work together to solve the problems in their community. The idea of the grocery store in Clarion came out of that process. We were asking them about air quality, but we kept hearing, we need a grocery store. So I know when you come to the gala and 25th anniversary celebration, you will be inspired by what PIN is doing and has accomplished in the past and is working on now. So I encourage you to come. Try to buy your ticket in the next week so that the planners can know how much food to provide. And finally, I just want to really deeply thank you for choosing PIN as your Share the Plate for this month. So thanks for the invitation to come.
Today's sermon is titled Healing Presence. In trying times, the best and greatest gift we can give someone else, especially someone who is suffering, is simply our presence. Not offering advice or platitudes, but just being there as a listening, caring witness and companion. How do we go about doing this work with one another? Our opening words were written by Alana Westbrook. In a world ravaged by violence, by hatred, by conflicts that seem internal and insoluble, sometimes the only thing we can do is be still for a moment. To remind ourselves of what is real, the sun that rose this morning, the ground under our feet, the air whispering in and out of our lungs. This hour, try just to be present in each moment as it unfolds. Your simple attention is what makes these moments holy. Please join me in saying the words to light our chalice. Out of the darkness, light. Out of the light, warmth. Out of the warmth, joy. Out of the joy, togetherness.
Please rise and bow your spirit to join in singing our opening hymn, There's a River Running in My Soul.
There's a river flowing in my soul. There's a river flowing in my soul. And it's telling me that I'm somebody. There's a river flowing in my melody. There's a river flowing in my soul.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Bethany Thornton. I'm the membership director here at Sunnyhill, and today we have the joy of welcoming new members into our church community. And if those people could come forward at this time, that would be great. So first we have Lisa Krapis, who looks forward to joining an open-minded, spiritual community that accepts and encourages liberal thinking, love, and hope for a better world. And then we have her daughter, Nikki Krapis, and her daughters, Lily, Gia, and Layla, and her daughter, Bella, who's my son's girlfriend, couldn't be here today. Nikki looks forward to continuing her personal and spiritual growth and journey in belonging to an amazing community. Next, we have Mika Peck and her kiddos, who are not up here with her, but she has Miles and Audrey. And Mika is new to the Pittsburgh area and is happy to become a part of the community that shares her values. Next, we have Sean McGinnis. After taking many years away from formal religion, but always seeking spiritual answers, Sean is looking forward to continuing his religious journey and growing in an open-minded community. And next we have Meredith Herndon. After growing up UU, but taking time away in college in the following years, Meredith is happy to make religion and spirituality a part of her life again and join a community of like-minded people. And next we have Gail Pacina and John Hooper, who are longtime UUs, and they just moved to the South Hills area. And John looks forward to becoming a part of a beloved community and discovering how he might find joy and meaning in supporting its mission. And Gail is happy to become a part of a like-minded community with shared values that helps each of us grow to become the best human beings we can be.
Today we welcome into our congregation these new members who have chosen to become part of this church. We are so glad to have each of you here with us and delighted that you've chosen to share this part of your journey with this congregation. I ask you, new members, will you accept our gifts of fellowship, mutual support, and service? Will you offer us your unique presence and gifts? And will you work with us as we seek to create a community and a world dedicated to compassion and justice? If so, please say, we will. We will. Congregation, will you welcome these new members with the warmth and comfort of your fellowship? Will you seek to add your strengths and talents to the new gifts they bring us? And will you share our triumphs and our struggles as our community grows and changes? If so, please say, we will. We will. Let us say together the words on our screens which reflect our common purpose and common love in the midst of our diversity of beliefs. Love is the spirit of this church, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek truth in love, and to help one another. Please join me in welcoming our new members.
Just want to mention that you can read everybody's bios on the board outside in Fellowship Hall after the service. And if anyone is here in our service today who's interested in more information about becoming a member, we have an upcoming class on February 23rd. So see me after the service, or there's a link to sign up in the Beat. Thank you.
Alrighty, friends, it's time for our story. If there are any kiddos present that want to come up, now is your chance. Good morning, friends. It's good to see y'all today. This story is called The Tale of the Starfish. A young girl was walking along a beach during which thousands of starfish had been washed up during a terrible storm. When she came to each starfish, she would pick it up and throw it back into the ocean. People watched her with confusion. She had been doing this for some time when a scientist approached her and said, "Little girl, why are you doing this? Look at this beach. You can't save all these starfish. You can't even begin to make a difference." The girl seemed crushed, suddenly deflated. But after a few moments, she bent down, picked up another starfish, and hurled it as far as she could into the ocean. Then she looked up at the man and replied, "Well, I made a difference for that one." The scientist went home and thought deeply about what the girl had to say. He knew, as a scientist, that the probability of helping all those starfish was so low. But the young girl was right. It would make a difference to each starfish that made its way back into the water. You see, friends, we cannot fix all of the problems in our world. There are just so many things that need our help right now. But that doesn't mean we can't make a difference in small ways every single day. Let's be present with those in our lives that need us. Take action for the causes that matter most to us, and take good care to nourish our own souls in the meantime. We really can make a difference in our world, one starfish at a time. And with that, we will head to our classes. Let's sing the kiddos out.
As you go, may joy surround you. As you go, go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, as you go, as you go, may joy surround you. As you go, go in peace. Know our love is with you always. As you go, as you go. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, child, things will be brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Things will be brighter. Someday, yeah, we'll walk in the rays of a beautiful sun. Someday, when your head is much lighter. Someday, yeah, we'll get it together and we'll get it undone. Someday, when the world is much brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Ooh, things will be brighter. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Things will be brighter. Someday, yeah, we'll get it together and we'll get it undone. Someday, when the world is much brighter.
I am so happy to be here this morning. Good morning to everybody. I'm a member of the pastoral care team, and my name is Judy Spiegel. The pastoral care team is here to offer personal connections, someone to talk to, someone there to listen when you're going through difficult life events. And we all go through difficult life events. We believe that it's our personal connections with each other that binds this loving, this accepting community. And that's what makes Sunnyhill so special. The pastoral care team is here for you, so please don't hesitate to reach out to any of us. Joys or sorrows can be submitted online. I think the easiest way is at the very bottom of the Wednesday beat that comes out. If you scroll down to the very bottom, oh, that's this way. You scroll down to the very bottom, there's a quick links, and Joys and Sorrows is right there. So you can just click on it and go from there. Or you can get a piece of paper out on the front desk as you walk in, immediately on your left. It is at this time in the service we share joys and sorrows submitted by members of our congregation. We share the things that we are celebrating as well as the things that we are mourning so that they need not be held alone. I have just one joy to share with you this morning. Please respond with me by saying, "We hold you in our hearts," after I read it. This is submitted by Bethany and Jen. Thank you so much to Nanette Miller for donating her washer and dryer to Sunnyhill. And thank you to the Dream Team, Wendy Bell for the use of her truck, Jarn Armstrong for the logistics planning and help, and Mark Mortimer, Jim McLaughlin, Mike Farb, and Phil Cassidy for their time and muscles. Here's to not having to take linens home to launder anymore. To all of those mentioned, we hold you in our hearts. As we listen to today's musical meditation, we invite anyone who feels moved to do so to come forward, light a candle, place it in the sand, and then return to your seat.
Comfort me, comfort
me, dance with me, dance with me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Comfort me, comfort me, comfort me, oh my soul. Please join me in the spirit of meditation or prayer. There is comfort in our being together, in being in the presence of those who share our values and our commitments to love and justice. There is comfort in our being together, in being here not for ourselves alone, but for each other, whatever we may be feeling. There is comfort in our being together, in our growing awareness of the ways in which we are deeply and meaningfully connected, even in our differences. There is comfort in our being together, in our willingness to remind ourselves and one another about what matters most in our lives, about the things that bind us together and strengthen us, to remind ourselves that we are enough just as we are. We pause now for a moment of silence to know and experience the comfort in our being together here and now. May we comfort ourselves and one another as witnesses and companions in all the ups and downs of our lives, in all the confusion and striving, all the fear and hope, all the dreams and heartaches. And may we always return to this place of awareness, knowing that there is comfort in our being together. Amen. There are a lot of people afraid and suffering in our world and in our community right now. While the constant toxic stream of executive orders and cruel policy changes from Washington threaten our fragile environment, our educational system, and the system of checks and balances that undergirds our democracy, such as it is, they also threaten the livelihoods of many, and they threaten the very lives of some of the most vulnerable people in our midst, including, among others, transgender people, especially trans children and youth. In addition, we see in the Senate confirmation hearings what seems to be one misogynistic miscreant after another nominated to lead federal agencies. And each time one of these high-profile serial abusers of women is featured in the news, hundreds of thousands of sexual abuse survivors find themselves triggered and re-traumatized. These actions and edicts from on high have immediate, real-life consequences for many of us in this room and for people we know and love. It's not an abstract matter. It's not just about a difference in opinion about policy. It's about people's lives being harmed and, in some cases, ruined. As I said, there's a lot of suffering going on right now. And when we see friends and loved ones suffering, we sometimes struggle to know how best to support them, how best to reach out and demonstrate to them our love and support. So this morning I'm focusing on how we might go about providing such support to anyone who is, for any reason, going through difficult or challenging times. One of my favorite writers is Parker Palmer, who writes about spiritual matters and social change from his perspective as a Quaker educator and activist. Palmer tells a story about a friend of his named Bill who had recently been diagnosed with cancer. Bill shared the news of his cancer diagnosis with family members and a few close friends via an email. Shortly after that message had been sent, one of Bill's friends came over and asked how he was doing. Bill said, "As I mentioned in my email, I feel remarkably at peace with my situation at this moment. I'm really not worried about what lies ahead of me right now." The friend said, "Look, you need to get a second opinion. At the same time, you should start exploring complementary medicine. You should also sign up for a meditation program, and I happen to know a good book that will get you started down this path." After the friend left, Bill realized that he had lost that sense of peace that he had previously experienced. He realized that his friend meant well, but his advice and suggestions simply had not helped. His sense of being at peace had evaporated. Later, Palmer asked Bill how he would have felt if, instead of offering advice, his friend had responded by saying, "How great that you're at peace. Tell me more." Bill said that would have been wonderful. But everyone I talked to had advice for me, including a relative who said I needed to join her church before it was too late. Palmer likened the situation to someone facing a serious problem and needing support when along comes a guy with advanced CPR certification. He's so eager to show off his skills that he isn't able to hear the person's true need. Instead, he starts administering chest compressions, even though the person is perfectly able to breathe for himself. And now the person with the serious problem has another problem as they try to fight off this helper who is smothering them. Palmer concludes by saying, "The human soul doesn't want to be advised or fixed or saved. It simply wants to be witnessed, to be seen, heard, and companioned exactly as it is." When we make that kind of deep bow to the soul of a suffering person, our respect reinforces the soul's healing resources, the only resources that can help the sufferer make it through. I think we've all found ourselves in the place of the friend who's trying to be helpful. We've all experienced moments when friends or family members have come to us with a great need, a need so great that we feel overwhelmed and at a loss as to what to say or do. So we immediately go into problem-solving mode, even though the person with the need has not necessarily asked for our advice, has not really asked us to solve their problem for them. And that urge to offer advice does not make us bad people. It's a basic human tendency to want to solve problems for the people we love and care about. But such advice does not necessarily help. In fact, in many cases, it can add an additional burden for the person in need, as they might feel obliged to follow your advice just to placate you, out of concern that you might be offended if they don't do what you are suggesting. If someone asks for advice, that's a different matter. But even then, if someone with a big problem specifically asks for your advice and suggestions, there's something more important that they need, which is to be witnessed, to be heard and seen and companioned. It is also true that sometimes a person with a great need will understand and recognize that our unsolicited advice and suggestions are well-intentioned but misguided expressions of our love and caring. Sometimes people are able to recognize that fact and to appreciate what we are trying to do. But the underlying spiritual truth remains, as Parker Palmer articulated it, the human soul doesn't want to be advised or fixed or saved. It simply wants to be witnessed exactly as it is. There are at least a couple of reasons why this truth is hard for us to learn and accept. The first is that when we've had an experience and found a solution that works for us, we want to share that solution with everybody, even if it might not work or be helpful for everyone. We want to save people the uncertainty and suffering that we ourselves have experienced and offer a shortcut to the solution that worked for us. And as I've said, there's nothing wrong with that desire to help, but it's important to realize that, as counterintuitive as it might seem, offering solutions is often simply not helpful. The second reason that it's difficult for us to accept that the human soul doesn't want to be advised or fixed or saved is that we have a hard time believing that our mere presence is enough. We have a hard time accepting that our witness, our companionship, our attentive presence could possibly make a difference. But being fully present for another human being is perhaps the greatest gift of all. We often don't believe it, but it's true nonetheless. our presence can make all the difference in the world. When I was in my 20s and going through one of my many existential crises, I got into therapy and made a lot of progress in a relatively short period of time. I had a lot of insights into why I was the way I was, how my family of origin issues had played out in my own life, how early childhood traumas and other experiences had shaped my psyche and my behaviors. I had lots of insights and realizations that really shook me up. But despite all of these aha moments, I still felt adrift and purposeless. And I still felt that I didn't have much to offer to the world. My therapist suggested that I volunteer at a crisis line as a crisis line telephone counselor, which I thought at the time was an absolutely absurd suggestion. I didn't know anyone I would less like to have as a crisis counselor than myself. Although I had been through plenty of personal crises myself, I was completely convinced that I had nothing to say to others who were going through their own crises. But I gave it a try anyway, and much to my surprise, even with my total lack of confidence in my ability to help myself or anyone else, I found that I could make a difference simply by listening to people. The crisis line that I volunteered at was the first point of contact for people with all kinds of issues and problems, from domestic abuse and addiction to suicide attempts. And frequently my job involved referring callers to other professionals, but only after listening to them, offering them an opportunity to get it all out, to talk about what was going on with them, to be a witness and a companion for them, if only for a short while. I ended up volunteering at that crisis line for 5 years, and it was the beginning of a turning point for me, which eventually, after many more twists and turns and complications, led me to my current path of ministry. So, as difficult as it is for some of us to accept, our mere presence, whether in person or at the end of a telephone line, can and does make a difference. Presence and awareness can be healing, can be life-restoring, can be life-sustaining. And in the end, presence and awareness are all that we have for ourselves and all we can give to someone else. It was also when I was in my 20s that I became a big fan of the writer Kurt Vonnegut. In Vonnegut's great novel, Breakfast of Champions, one of the threads of the story involves an abstract painter named Rabo Karabekian, who has received a sizable commission to create a work to be hung in a brand new art center that is opening in the fictitious town of Midland City. The people of the town feel that they have been ripped off when Karabekian's painting, called The Temptation of St. Anthony, is unveiled. The painting is merely a huge avocado green canvas with a single vertical stripe of day-glow orange off to one side. The townspeople are appalled that they paid tens of thousands of dollars for this work. One of them says, "I've seen better pictures done by a 5-year-old." At this point, the artist, Karabekian, makes a speech explaining his work. He says, "Nothing would make me happier than to have this painting reproduced again and again and vastly improved upon by all the 5-year-olds in town. I would love for your children to find pleasantly and playfully what it took me many angry years to find. I now give you my word of honor, he went on, that the picture your city owns shows everything about life which truly matters, with nothing left out. It is a picture of the awareness of every animal. It is the immaterial core of every animal, the I am to which all messages are sent. It is all that is alive in any of us. It is unwavering and pure, no matter what preposterous adventure may befall us. A sacred picture of St. Anthony alone is one vertical, unwavering band of light. If another being were near him, the picture would show two such bands of light. Our awareness is all that is alive and may be sacred in any of us. Everything else about us is dead machinery. When I was working at the crisis line, and since then in many similar situations, I would picture myself and the person with whom I was engaging as two unwavering bands of light. It is the light of our presence and our awareness of our presence and the presence of the other. There is nothing more sacred than our presence, and there is no greater gift than sharing our awareness of the light of each other's presence. Again, from Parker Palmer, the soul doesn't want to be advised or fixed or saved. It simply wants to be witnessed exactly as it is. The ministry of presence is one that we all share with one another. It is sacred work, it is holy work, it is life-affirming, life-saving work. In these trying times, when so many people are frightened and suffering, I hope and pray that each of us will reach out to one another and to all those in need, recognizing that the human soul doesn't want to be advised or fixed or saved. It simply wants to be witnessed exactly as it is. May it be so. Amen.
Please rise again to join in singing I Know I Can.
The days be dark with storms and burdens with
Our Share the Plate beneficiary for the month of February, as we heard earlier, is the Pennsylvania Interfaith Impact Network, or PIN. PIN is a network of congregations and organizations in southwestern Pennsylvania committed to drawing together people of faith to act powerfully on local and regional issues of justice and fairness. Through the process of community building, working with politicians and policymakers, direct action, and negotiation, they strive to transform our community. You can make a gift online on our website or by text at 412-324-3130. We'll be passing our offering baskets for cash and checks in just a moment. If you're writing a check, please make it out to UUCSH and put Share the Plate in the memo line. Thank you for your generosity. Please join me in saying the words to extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
We'll close with these words. My friends, may the spirit of love be a living flame before you, a guiding star above you, a firm path below you, and a gentle presence beside you. And may you go in peace.